Дорогие друзья, мы продолжаем второй день конференции.
Dear friends, we continue day 2 of AI Journey 2023. And at this point, I have to say to you that AI Journey is becoming ubiquitous, permeating our lives for everyone. Understanding the basic principles of AI models is becoming increasingly important, which is why it is important to adopt AI-based programs for non-technical specialists at universities and even school children. I can say from my own experience that we do use AI in our everyday life, even though you may not know it, you may not notice it. You would be wrong to say that we don't use it, because your smartphones, for example, when you take a picture with your smartphone, you are using AI, because neural networks are improving your image, or when you decide to apply a filter to your picture, you are using AI. Same goes for social media. For young people, it has become a routine, it has become something they are completely used to, and they are growing familiar with the technology that is so much bigger than us. AI is going to evolve in terms of its application and our awareness of it. Let's hear more about it from the director of MyEdu AI Robotics Research Center, Jeffrey Too Chuan TAN, AI Education for Everyone. Please give it up for Mr. Tan.
Right, good afternoon, everyone. So I'm Jeffrey from Malaysia. Right, so today the topic, AI education for everyone. Okay, so I'm very glad and very happy to be here to share with you one of my life journey, right, for the past 10 years, to talk about how from a normal lecturer or professor in university, and today I'm here on a journey and on a mission to bring AI education for almost everyone. Okay. So a little bit introduction about myself. So I'm from Malaysia, but I have worked in Japan and also in China for the past 15 years. Right, so currently I'm running a some background that how this thing is actually transformed to the topic that I'm going to present to you, the AI education for everyone. Right, so in 2010, so I got my PhD from the University of Tokyo, Japan. So that was the time that I start to learn how human and robot can work together in an assembly line, okay? And during that time, just mind you that the context is like AI is not a thing yet, okay? It's not a thing yet. And also, during that time, machine is very dangerous. So follow industrial regulation, machine is supposed to be caged, right? It cannot work as closely as now. But as today, you can see machine is getting more and more intelligent, and it can work closely with human being. So what is the difference, or what has happened in the last 10 years is we actually bring more and more intelligence into robots. Okay, so for the past 15 years, I work in university and mainly to develop intelligence into machine so that it can work together with human being, right? So you can see this was my lab in Nankai University, China in 2017. So in my labs, mainly we talk about service robot, right? So from industrial robot, now I transform and do my study in service robot. So the idea over here is how I can actually develop more AI, right, in these robots so that it can work like how you work together with your human peer. Okay, so you can see on the left-hand side, we have different kind of robots, and even we have one that is a semi-humanoid robot that is mass-produced in 2014 to actually become the future that is going to happen in your household, right? Okay, so that is a little bit about my background. So today, my main purpose is in order to bring this to more people, so I started my research center, I run my own company to provide AI education solution to the mass, okay, right. Okay, so my outline will be divided into these three parts. So the first part is I want to share with you my story, how from the robotics competition until today, I'm actually doing AI education, right? And then the second part is, so what is so great or what is so different about this AI education system that we develop in our organization? And lastly, I will show you some, because we just started to deploy this into the community. So for the past almost 5 years, I would like to share with you like how the society actually respond to our system. Okay, so the first part, from robotics competition to AI education. Right, so I start from here, okay? So I joined this, what we call the RoboCup at Home competition in 2013, and this is where I start to realize that building intelligent robot is not that easy. Although my background is in engineering, but how to make robots smart, right? And the key is actually not those control things in engineering, but what needed to be put in the robot is the AI, is the intelligence that actually come from my neighbor, the computer science department. Right, so building this competition is actually not very easy, especially for me and my team who are coming from the engineering department. But what's nice about this is this service robot development actually let me realize right, so for all humans, we have the same anatomy, the same capability, but depends on what kind of skill we learn, we can actually work differently in different fields, right? We can actually accomplish different tasks, right? So what makes everything different is the intelligence in all this development. Okay, so we can see in service robot, when we develop the service robot, we are actually developing or we are actually learning how to create practical AI application, right? So just to further illustration the idea, so for example, like this one, the visual perception. So how we can make robots able to see the world, right? It's like this. So this is a robot that will follow me walking around because it has the eye, like human eye, right? So this is actually one of the, we apply a lot of computers vision technique into a robot so that it can have very similar functionality like a human eye, okay? Then, we also have this, which is recently we have a lot of machine learning and deep learnings, all right? So now, computer vision that applied on robot made robot able to understand our surrounding pretty much very similar like how we perceive the world, right? So for example, we can in real time to understand what are the objects in front of us, and robot can actually do the same thing. And not just static objects, we can also recognize things like gesture, right? So that's why you can see restaurant bot start to able to respond to the customer that's waving. Like you wave to the robot and the robot will come to you, right? So these are all human capability. Car, self-driving car that is running outside, sending passengers without a driver, right? So these are all the intelligence that were put in robots and start to actually give meaningful value to the society, right? So we have this part as well. And then, right, so we have also object manipulation. So for this object manipulation, it's different from industrial arm. Because industrial arm, it just sit there, and then you feed the parts, you feed whatever, and then it try to do the pick and place. But for human being, we pick up things, we manipulate things differently, right? We see some things that we want to pick up. So first, from far, we detect the objects. Then we plan our path to that particular object. We calculate where we're supposed to stand so that we can have a very good reachability or a good posture that we can hold. For example, a cup or any objects that we want to manipulate. So similarly over here. So these are all the AI techniques that we apply into robots, and we can actually see in a real world solving problem, right? So you can see like this robot now is looking and try to planning its path so that it can grab the object. Okay, so I will skip due to time. Right, and of course, today, I think like everyone know about ChatGPT, right? So ChatGPT is something that it have the prompt, you type in your question and it come back with a certain answer. But over here, we actually can further develop this system and put it on our robots. Because robot, we have the body. So it looks like another human person that can talk to you in the language or in the way that is very natural to you. Right, because thanks to ChatGPT and all the other GPT large language model have made chatbot very advanced nowadays. Okay, so we also put it into our robots so that in future, you are going to give instruction to the robot just like how you communicate with your peer, the human peer, that will work together with you. So over here, you can see we have facial expression, we have the chat engine, and then we try to put them together to talk to many people, right, in a retail environment and so on. Okay, so next, right, so that is good. So now you understand, by building service robot, by building robots for the competition, we are actually doing a lot of AI application, right? So my student actually learned a lot of AI application from the development of service robot. But here comes the problem, and this is the point where today I'm doing the AI education, is throughout the whole year that we repeat these activities, I have many students, right? I have undergraduate students, second-year student, third-year student come in and want to do the competition together with us, right? But their time to spend is very short. And especially my students, they are from engineering department. They are not so good in computer science. They are not so good in AI, in fact, right? So how to actually train them so that they can do this development in a very short time? So that is the challenge. So over the year, what me and my team have done is we have come out the idea how to actually train so that people can pick up this development in a very short time, right? Okay, so eventually this whole development becomes something more meaningful than the original intended objective, which is just to make my student able to join the competition, right? Just able to develop some AI application. So from the research or from the R&D perspective, I joined the competition, and eventually I make it become an AI education system, right? So I got recognition from RoboCup as well, that the system that we have developed throughout this cycle is actually very effective to let a lot of students learn about AI application development. Okay, so with that, we try to upgrade ourselves, okay? We try to make things more organized, more structured. So we form this, what we call the RoboCup at Home Education Initiative, right? So this initiative is no longer just me and my team, but we have a lot of community, right? From the academic world, and also from industries that to have supports from government and so on. So for this RoboCup at Home Education, we try to create what we call robotics competition for education, right? Robotics competition-based education. So we have the education challenge, and then we start to open source all our stuff, whether from hardware development to software, and also the third effort is we start to develop courseware, right? Because we understand that a lot of teams, they want to have a quick start, how to build robots with AI. So we develop the courseware. And eventually, we have a lot of support, and we bring this to the whole world, which is our outreach program. So I do a lot of talks, workshops, and so on. And the response is very positive. A lot of people actually like it. Okay, so this is the whole robotics competition-based AI education ecosystem you can see. So we link up all the stakeholders. From the teams, we have the hardware, and then from the competition, we have the event, and from the institution, we have the university, we have the government sector that support us in terms of curriculum development, and so on. So the whole ecosystem and the community start to scale up, and today we have actually many people in our teams, right? So the story starts from 2015. We start from Japan, so we developed the competition, and then we opened for participation. And then 2017, it spread to Europe, Italy. Then 2018, we start to organize international event, right? So that is where we spread to Canada and whole Europe. And in 2020, we have a lot in plan, but unfortunately, COVID happened, so everything delayed. But it is actually somehow forced us to put things online. So we have the online challenge, which means our development continue. So when everyone is like, we have to like quarantine at home, but we still can proceed with our learning, okay? So that makes like in 2022 and also this year, we have both online and offline version of the competition. All right, so here is just a fraction of the event that we have done for the past 5 years. So you can see in Japan, China, in Asia Pacific, Europe, America, and also like Australia and so on. So it's like the 4 continents we have gone through. And recently we have Egypt, we have Africa as well. Right, so we have outreach to the whole world, okay, through workshops, talks, demos, organized competitions, and so on. So we can see a lot of people actually want to learn about AI, particularly practical AI that can solve problems, right? Although they are not really like the expert in AI, they don't even from the computer science department, right? So if you look from the population in our community, actually maybe less than 10%, they are from the computer science department. But the rest, especially the engineering, especially people like, for example, do the human-robot interaction from non-technical department, they feel that this development actually push forward and let them understand that they can also be part of the development in the AI application. Okay, so what is the system, right? So I would like to explain like, so how this AI education look like. So the development of the AI education system that I mean just now. So there's one important concept that I would like to explain before I go deep into what kind of solution we have. So which means over here is like whether it's the education system cultivate AI scientists or AI engineers. Because today we can see all the effort in computer science, AI curriculum or AI programs, their target is to cultivate or their target is to train AI scientists. People who can manage, study on the algorithm, change the algorithm, optimize the algorithms, and so on. But actually, when you look at the whole spectrum of user of AI, we actually have a lot of people actually want to focus on the engineering part. Of the population. Right, so our, what we call the practical AI robotics education system comprised of these 5 components, okay? I will say, for example, the first one is the hardware. So in order to have very practical development, we need to deal with real-world system. So we need to deal with solving real-world problem. So we have the hardware. And over here you can see, as time go on, we work with a lot of hardware company. So not only open source solution, we have commercial grade solution. We have also hardware that is not in the form of robots. Okay. Then also it comes hand in hand with the software, right? So over here, because we want to do the education system for all level of user, so we need to have different interface for all different level of learner. Then with these two, of course, education can start rolling off, but we need extra, which is what we call the courseware. So how to learn all these things in a more structured and systematic way. It's just like how we teach physics, how we teach science, how we teach biology and so on. We need the curriculum, we need the structure. So from elementary until university, so how to actually arrange the curriculum. So we put a lot of effort in the courseware development. And of course, now we actually create a new job called AI teacher, right? Because when we deal with a lot of school, they actually don't have enough teachers that are able to carry out the education. So we actually do a lot of trainings to train the trainer so that they are now capable to teach AI, right? Even though they are not in a computer science department, or they don't have the qualification as a computer science graduates and so on. And lastly, of course, without clash into any objects. How we know the things that we see in front of us, right? And how we can actually talk to another person without actually writing any codes, right? So these are all human intelligence. And from our system, we try to let the user understand how this thing happened, because this is what we are trained, right? For the past 30 years, I've been trained how to talk to the other person, right? So with the same analogy, we actually let the user learn how AI actually facilitate machine or robots to have a conversation with human, right? So over here, we put back the 5 elements that I say, the building block. And then, more importantly, is like, we want to make this robotic system reconfigurable, so which means it is not just specific for a waiter robot application, but it can be applied in medicine, it can be applied in agriculture, and so on. So the hardware is supposed to be reconfigurable. And then it's supposed to be reprogrammable. So it not just can create one task, right? It can be serve the elderly, it can serve the children, it can give you story, it can help you to pick up your trash, etc., etc. And lastly, of course, very important for education is open source. So we have the hardware, software, almost 99% open source, except some industrial component, which is they have a proprietary story. But other than that, everything is open source, right? Okay. So this is basically the hardware system, and we work closely with our hardware partners to create something like this. So we have this very open source system that you can reprogram, you can reconfigure to achieve it can talk naturally, it can move autonomously, it can actually manipulate objects and understand what is happening in the surrounding. So by learning how to program or how to develop this kind of system, the student actually learn a lot of practical AI techniques, right? And also just now I mentioned that when I bring this to the computer science department, they get excited, right? But they don't really like the idea that they have to build the robots. So somehow we extract, for example, we extract the eye, we extract the capability to speak, and then we make it something like an AI learning box, right? So by connect to any of your PC. So it's very similar. You want to learn programming, you get a PC, right? You get a computer system so that you can learn programming. So if you want to learn AI, then you need to have the building blocks to build structure. For example, you have camera, then you can work on the face detection algorithms and so on. So we have this learning box. So this is very similar like the brain of the robots. Okay? Right, and a lot of examples. So how we do a very hands-on learning system is like we put all this live example, right, in the system that the user can learn how to use and eventually how to develop further. Because it's open source, so you can actually change the code. You can make the robot vision system to apply in your projects. For example, you want to develop a robot for the hospital. Then you want the robot to be able to recognize the patient, recognize the staff, etc. So you can use all this functionality that is already, it's very similar like human. We know how to see, we know how to walk, and you train me so that I can work in the hospital, so that I can work in the restaurant and so on. So it's a very similar process. Okay, so and our developed framework open source, as you can see over here. We try to maintain the open source stance in developing the software so that it can actually bring forward for education objective. So just in case that you are interested to have a look on how our system or how our learning materials look like, so we already put up everything online. So you can go to our courseware site, you can see all the learning materials, you can even explore the example code that we put on GitHub. So as we stand on the open source design, so you can actually get most of the source code from GitHub. We have videos from our community, right? They develop different type of robots in the competition, they share it. And also we have our community. You can join our community online. So, and also through the competition activities, we actually have a lot of workshops, online tutorials that is open for publics. That just head to our website and you can learn more about all these online resources. Okay, and then, so in order for this to put into real school system, so I'm not talking about running this as a hobby class or a weekend class and so on, but we are actually running this in actual school hour, right? So we work closely with Ministry of Education, we work closely with school to actually bring the curriculum. But we understand that different institutions, different level of education require different requirements. So our team work closely to actually customize so that it's suitable for different level of learner. And also, because of the COVID experience, we also try to make sure that our system able to have some mechanism for self-learning, right? So we have the system that you can do online learning, and with the hardware, so you are not learning something virtually, but something tangible, although you are doing remotely. Right, so putting all those things together, right? So I'm coming to the last part of my presentation today. The last part is I want to show you the result. We started to deploy this to the community, to the society about 5 years ago. So I want to show you like how is the response, right? So how much we have done and how much the society have react to our system. Right, so over here you can see, so we have kind of like standard curriculum as an introductory course to primary school, high school, and university. You can see we work with our hardware partners, different hardware partners, different courseware partners, etc. Right, but the idea is to bring this into the school and in the education system. Right, and yeah, you can see it actually works in different level. So departments, and we can see it actually work very well with other subsets that currently available, and it actually give the students a chance to actually learn something cross-field. So for the engineering student to learn something about computer science, and for the computer science student to learn something about engineering. Right, and also we have run this in high school student, which is they are very passionate to join the competition. So you can see they are very, we can see their passion and also their capability to actually pick up the subject, although they don't understand a single thing about the algorithm. But eventually, because of the open source, they actually dig out the source code and start to learn more in depth, which is actually out from our expectation. Right, so a recent project, we also work with international school, somewhere between grade 7, 8, and 9. So it's about middle school age. And we introduced them, right, as an AI class. So this is something new in international school, that they have ICT, right? They have STEMs, but they don't have something called AI. So we try to enhance the system by letting them a chance to learn about AI. So as you can see here, their participation, the engagement of the students are very high, and they actually learn something very new, which is they said they never see this in the market before. Okay, so professional training, of course, as what I pointed out just now. we actually create a new post, right? Because we have a lot of schools that want to run this, and we don't have enough trainer in-house. So we actually do a lot of profession trainings to train up young teachers who like to teach about AI, and now they can acquire a new subject, a new skill, and we created the post called AI Teachers. All right, so I've come to the end. So just want to show you, like, learning AI have nothing to do with boundary, background. Everyone want to do this. So we have go through like many places. This was the data in 2020, right? So after 3 years, we actually have more. And you can see learning AI is something universal and everyone want to learn. And especially, we are targeting non-technical persons. So we have actually a very huge market to actually deploy our solution. Right, so last, I would like to show this video. Everyone, please have a look.
Hi,
A testimonial
I'm
from our user.
From the Newton Sixth Form School. I'm 14 and I'm currently studying in grade 8.
Hi, my name is Tirtas Asavat Ringchai. My nickname is Ultra. I'm an 8th grader from Shrewsbury International School.
My name is Nitcha Patkurkit. You can call me Sand. I'm 14 years old and I'm currently an 8th grader at Shrewsbury International School, Bangkok.
My name's Chachalin Lerjotpadin. You can call me Chai.
Before the competition, we attended the workshop at Kasetsat University. It was the first time we experienced what real service robots were like.
I don't think I can find a chance to attend a university level camp like this anywhere else.
Me and my team get started about ROS and Jupyter Robot. We were taught about nearly everything we needed to know for the competition.
As a teacher, I think the Jupyter Robot is a great tool for the students to develop their skill in the robot programming and AI development.
After the workshop, we went straight into the RoboCup at Home 2022 competition. There were 3 tasks: carrying my luggage, find my mate, and receptionist. They were very challenging to us, not only because of what the robot has to do, but also because of such a short period of time we had and such little experience we had at that time.
This year, World RoboCup is held in the Bangkok. This is a very good
Had at Bitech was truly amusing and really sociable.
I liked the environment in the event most since everyone was friendly and we all had different fun activities to do. It was all very lively and fun, and I would like to join this competition in the upcoming year.
This competition also taught me a lot how to work under pressure and how to keep myself calm while dealing with all the tasks. I think it was a very remarkable experience.
All right, so with that, we come to the end of my presentation. So I hope I have shared with you something interesting, and hopefully look forward that we might have some, if you are interested on our system, feel free to contact me as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience. Thank you for this presentation. As usual, we have many questions, but time for only for one.
Okay.
So, which skills in digital literacy in the AI sphere does everyone need to have?
Right, currently I would say it's the programming, right? So the programming is actually the language of AI. It's just like anything you want to learn, you need to learn English as a language. But we actually have a paradigm shift that people start to think about, can we do AI development without programming? So that maybe change, but it's not yet there yet. So currently, our requirement, especially when we want to introduce an AI class, I will say you need to learn your Python programming first.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you very much. This applause for you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. This way. Thank you.